Good evening. You may be seated. Welcome to the 2025 graduation ceremony for the Ascension St. Vincent College of Health Professions. We are here tonight to recognize the achievements and honor each graduate in the cardiac sonography, diagnostic medical sonography, radiography, and surgical technology programs. Graduates, congratulations, you did it. Graduation is not merely a milestone or a ceremony, it's a milestone, a testament to your hard work, perseverance, and dedication. It's a moment to reflect on the journey you've undertaken and the lessons you've learned along the way. You all have a lot to be proud of. You have completed an intense program consisting of didactic and lecture coursework, labs, and clinical hours. Each program has its own challenges, and never once did you let those challenges slow you down or stop you from making it here tonight. You should be proud of yourself, and the healthcare community is lucky to have each of you as part of their future teams.
Family members, friends of all of the graduates, we are beyond thrilled to have each of you here in person and joining us online to show your support for each of these graduates sitting here tonight. I have no doubt that you have supported the graduate that you are celebrating in many ways. Thank you for being their biggest cheerleader and at times a shoulder to cry on. The graduate's success is in part because of your support. To all of our faculty, you have made an impact on every graduate in this room. It's not always easy educating students who learn in all different types of ways. What works for one student is not guaranteed to work for another. The knowledge you have given these graduates will stay with them forever and will have an impact on many other lives as they serve the community as graduates of our programs. As a faith-based organization, Ascension St. Vincent begins and ends our ceremonies in prayer. Leading us in the opening prayer tonight is Lorraine Brown, who is the Chief Mission Integration Officer for Ascension St. Vincent, Indiana. Lorraine has over 38 years of experience in healthcare, Catholic healthcare, and brings a deep understanding of the intersection between Catholic social teaching and healthcare. Lorraine is a former nurse and clinical educator and has spent the past 24 years leading mission integration, guiding spiritual care, ethics, and leadership formation. Please join me in welcoming Lorraine Brown.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And as we begin our ceremony this evening, let us join together in prayer. Good and gracious God, send down your Spirit to watch over all of us gathered here together, especially those who are moving from student to graduate. Please support their families and friends and allow each person to experience your courage, strength, and support as the graduates move into the next chapter of their lives and careers. Embrace them in your love and grace so that they may not fear the next steps they will take, that they will be enthusiastic about the future which lies ahead. Establish within each graduate the unconditional love for all people that you instituted through the ministry of Jesus as healer, so that they may go out and continue that mission of healing. May each graduate hold fast to their strengths so that they may bring goodness to whatever they pursue next. Along the way, encourage them to pursue paths which glorify you, so that they may take care to uphold the dignity of the human person in their work. Lord, confirm in these graduates the acuity to remember and articulate all that they have learned at the Ascension St. Vincent College of Health Professions. Give them skills to utilize their degrees, which they worked so diligently to obtain, so that they may bring a positivity into the world which reflects light in the darkest places. Grant that these graduates may hold firm to the Ascension St. Vincent core values of service of the poor, reverence, integrity, wisdom, creativity, and dedication. And please, Lord, help the graduates to embody you in their journey into healthcare so that they may act as the physical representation of your hands to heal the sick, your eyes to see the hurting, your words to offer comfort, and your mission to serve the poor and the vulnerable. We pray this prayer in your precious name. Amen.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Well, welcome to our family, friends, guests. Thank you for spending your evening with us. We greatly appreciate your support. Class of 2025, congratulations. Ooh, there you go. So, the class of 2025, that has a nice ring to it, right? So the number 2025 is actually an interesting number. So if you'll indulge me, we're going to have fun with numbers for a minute, all right? In my hand is a toy marble, okay? A marble, on average, weighs 0.16 ounce, all right? If I have 2,025 marbles in a bag, it will weigh exactly 20.25 pounds. Thank you. Thank you. Another interesting thing about 2025 is it's a perfect square. What does that mean? 45 squared is 2025, okay? The next time we will have a perfect square year will be 2116. So that makes this year very unique, right? So that's something that you guys will remember, the class of 2025. And I have one more interesting fact about 2025. An Olympic-sized swimming pool can hold only 2,025 average-sized adults standing shoulder to shoulder. I totally made that up. Just proves don't believe everything that you hear. All right, so I'm going to get serious now. Lorraine's prayer reminds us that Ascension St. Vincent is a faith-based healthcare institution, and faith is central to our mission. You heard Elaine talk about our core values. We have 6 core values that guide our mission, but there's one core value I think it is particularly poignant here tonight, and that's our core value of creativity, which we define as courageous innovation. Our core value of creativity challenges us to think boldly, not be constrained by narrow thinking. And that was certainly the case in 1881 when 4 nuns from the Daughters of Charity arrived in Indianapolis with $34.77 between them. They were answering a call to serve, not only to serve the healthcare needs, but also the spiritual needs. And 145 years later, look at the vision. Look at what the vision has accomplished. So what's more creative and innovative than starting an institution of higher learning? To be more specific, an healthcare institution starting a college. And that's what we've done. The college, the Ascension St. Vincent College of Health Professions, was born out of a need for caring, competent, compassionate caregivers. Our programs, Diagnostic Medical Sonography, Cardiac Sonography, Radiography, Surgical Technology, and our new program, Neurodiagnostic Technology, these programs exist to meet that critical need. So in 2013, we began working on establishing a college. And that work came to fruition in 2016 when we were nationally accredited and authorized by the Indiana Commission on Higher Ed as an institution of higher learning, which basically means, and we like to say, that in the eyes of the state of Indiana, we're no different than Ivy Tech, Ball State, or any other traditional college. But the college would not be here without the support of many individuals, so I do want to thank some individuals, starting with our senior leadership. Our executive leadership supports the college, and we are so grateful that our senior leaders are behind us 100%. Also to the many physicians and medical providers who support our programs, our training, our students while they're training in the clinical site, because they realize that ultimately they will benefit from their work in helping train the students. They will benefit in the care that they can provide their patients. To the management of our clinical areas, our students train in the clinical settings with real technologists, real sonographers, and they are training with real patients. And our clinical managers are very supportive to allow our students that training. And then finally, to the many technologists, neurodiagnostic technologists, radiographers, sonographers, surgical technologists who work with our students on a day in and day out basis, thank you. From all of us as faculty, thank you. Okay. So, but we're not here tonight to talk about the college. We're here tonight to celebrate them. Okay. So they have all completed difficult programs. You'll hear about our programs a little more later this evening. But our programs are academically rigorous, they're clinically challenging, they are labor intensive. And I promise you, you'll be hard pressed to find more competent, skilled, and caring individuals graduating these programs. They have proven tonight that they have earned the right to be here. That's reason enough to celebrate. So to those who are in attendance or watching online, this is the assurance that I can give you. As patients, you and your family, you are in good hands if you are in the care of one of these graduates. The highest compliment I can pay, I can certainly pay to all of them, and it's this: if my child needed care, I can entrust my child in the hands of any of these graduates. So once again, class of 2025, congratulations. So it is my pleasure to introduce the president of our college, Dr. Jeff Rothenberg. In addition to being president of our college, he also serves Ascension St. Vincent as chief medical officer. He is a board-certified OBGYN physician. Dr. Rothenberg, prior to being with Ascension St. Vincent, he was heavily involved in the professorship at Marion and Indiana University School of Medicine. And he attended the Sackler School of Medicine and residency at Northwestern University. So with that, Dr. Rothenberg.
Well, thank you guys, and thank you all for coming tonight. Graduates, I am unbelievably proud of you and have seen you guys grow. And for those of you in the room that haven't seen how hard these folks have worked, they have toiled day in, day out. And have not only done this for themselves, you guys have also changed the college for those coming after you. And I saw that at the holiday party. So thank you guys for, helping set the seed for the next generation. We like to say that if you see a turtle on a fence post, it didn't get here by itself. And none of you guys who are graduating tonight got here without the help of people around you. So why don't you stand up and see if you can see folks in the audience that help you get here and give them a shout out and a thank you. So this is your time to stand up and turn around. And so friends and family helped you guys do this work, but you all did it on your own. And more important than just graduating, you guys are embarking on a meaningful journey to have important, meaningful work in your lives that will change other people's lives. And that's probably one of the most important things that we can do as people, is help other people and be kind in doing it. It's wonderful that here at St. V's we are actually having commencement in St. Luke's gymnasium. St. Luke is the patron saint of the medical professions. Nothing could be more appropriate than having you guys here. We used to do this in an Embassy Suite hotel, and look how we've grown. So another shout out to our leadership, who definitely has helped support this vision as we grow. You guys know how hard it is to train and to get yourself into clinical sites. So I would ask that when you guys are working and we ask you to take a student, you take a deep breath and say, well, I didn't get here by myself, so I guess I'm going to help out too. Because that's how we push this forward, is by helping other people. Once again, you know, we like to say that the hassle of all this is definitely worth the tassel, right? Congratulations. I'm really, really proud of you, and I've seen you do amazing things and can't wait to see what you're going to do. And for those of you that have chosen to stay and work here with us at St. Vincent, this is God's work, and we're blessed to have you stay. So thank you very much. So I get to introduce Dawn Zimmer. So Dawn Zimmer is an OBGYN who's a maternal fetal medicine specialist. When we decided to start an ultrasound program, we immediately asked Dawn if she'd be willing to help us, because she was doing lots of ultrasound at the time. And she has been a stalwart supporter of the program from the very beginning. She did remind me tonight that there will be an end to this, though. More important than that, she is a great personal friend and is my next door neighbor. So with that, Dr. Zimmer.
Well, thank you for that kind introduction, Dr. Rothenberg, and for being asked to share some thoughts with you, the 2025 graduating class of St. Vincent College of Medical Professions. First of all, congratulations. You have all completed rigorous programs that have lasted anywhere between 17 and 24 months and will receive an Associate of Applied Science degree. You should be proud of yourself and for what you've accomplished. So commencement is defined as the beginning of something new. You will go from being a graduate of your respective programs to starting at the lowest rung of employment of your chosen field. That's kind of sobering, right? So as a senior medical professional, I was asked to share some thoughts and our advice with you about your future in medicine and in life. So in order to determine if advice that is being offered is wise, you have to know something about the person offering advice. For example, I spend a great deal of my free time in my kitchen, and I think I'm a pretty decent cook. I would never take cooking advice from someone that rarely cooks at home, like my husband. So let me share a little bit about my background before I dole out my thoughts for you. So I had the good fortune of being offered a maternal fetal medicine job, or high-risk obstetrics job, at St. Vincent Hospital 27 years ago. So I don't know if any of you were not even born yet, perhaps, yeah? Or you were small, right, when that happened. So when the St. Vincent College of Health Professionals decided to start the sonography program, I was asked to be the medical advisor. I like to think of myself as the grandmother of this program. So not to make the non-sonography graduates feel excluded, I spent lots of time in the operating, or have spent lots of time in an operating room, have ordered numerous echocardiograms, all kinds of x-rays, CTs and MRIs on patients over the years. So although I am very biased about the sonography program at St. Vincent's, I do have an understanding of all your chosen fields. I hope you all have a grandmother or a grandmother figure in your life. Do any of you have grandmothers here in attendance? Yeah, okay, great. So having lived longer and had more experience give grandmothers perspective and wisdom that perhaps younger people do not have. So let's get started with my grandmotherly advice to you. And I'm going to make it easy and only give you 3 things to remember. Number 1, you are going to make mistakes and or have failures in your career and personal life. That's a guarantee. You may even fail at something very important to you. This may even include inadvertently hurting someone, but as long as you learn from your mistakes and failures, it will make you a better person and may even change the trajectory of your career or life. My own career is no exception. I grew up really wanting to be a veterinarian. Any book I could find about animals, I read as a kid. I went to Kansas State University with that goal in mind. I was always a very good student, not because I'm super intelligent, but because I had a very good memory. Now you got to remember, this was in the 1970s and 1980s, and so there were no cell phones or personal computers, so you could look up information easily. So a good memory went a long way. When the time came for vet school selections, I was devastated when I was not accepted for the class at Kansas State. Instead of reapplying the next year, I switched to pre-medical studies. 2 years later, I graduated with honors, but was not accepted to medical school for the first time I applied. So is this starting to sound familiar? I spent the next year working full-time in the radiation safety office at the University of Kansas Medical Center. So I like to think of this as my first exposure to radiology. Then I worked most weekends as a phlebotomist, or drawing blood samples from patients at what is now an Ascension hospital in Kansas City, Missouri. I started medical school at the University of Kansas the next year. Medical students are a highly selected group as they have all excelled academically in college. It's a shock to most to discover they are no longer at the top of their class. After about 6 weeks in medical school, I realized now I was just an average student. Okay? This being average caused me severe anxiety and resulted in me taking a leave of absence to determine if medical school was something I really wanted or could do. I had worked, this failing to stay in medical school was very embarrassing for me because I had stayed or worked so hard to get there. 10 months later, I returned to the program with a much clearer understanding of the importance of mental health and taking care of myself. I ended up graduating with honors in 4 years and matched in the OBGYN residency at Indiana University. So this is how I became a Hoosier. Early in life, I did not set out to become a maternal fetal medicine specialist or even a physician, but I've had a fulfilling career as one. In retrospect, I am glad that I didn't get into vet school. You may fail at something important to you, like I did, but learning from these situations can lead to eventual success and happiness. Okay, my second bit of grandmotherly advice is to be kind to others. So kindness is defined as doing something for someone, whether you know them or not, and not expecting anything in return. Obviously, you need to be kind to your patients. That's a given. But you should also be kind to people in general. And this can involve very small acts. I have really made a point recently of looking behind me whenever I enter or leave a building. I try not to let a door shut in anyone's face. As I've had this happen to me, I know how it makes me not feel very good. Recently, I was at the Jewish Community Center, and I held the door open for an elderly man, who then held the door open for a young woman, who then turned around and held the door open for a man with his small children. A simple act of kindness had a real ripple effect, and I think made everyone involved feel better. Although this small act had obvious positive consequences, mostly you will never know the results of your kindness to strangers. Even a cheerful good morning may brighten someone's day. Number 3 grandmotherly advice is to be kind to yourself. You can't do your best if you're not at your best. Being kind to yourself means getting enough sleep, eating appropriately, getting mental and physical exercise, and doing what makes you feel happy. Recently, I came home on a Sunday afternoon to find one of my neighbors, who's just a few years younger than me, so a senior, rollerblading in my driveway. My neighbor has a very stressful job in the medical field. That particular day, he was tasked with cleaning out his garage by his wife, and during his cleaning, he came upon an old pair of rollerblades that he had not used for years. So he abandoned his cleaning and decided to test his long dormant skills. His initial re-entry into rollerblading was a little rocky, and my husband was witnessing all this. By the time I saw him, he was skating effortlessly. He was obviously enjoying himself. It made me happy just watching him, although not happy enough to make me want to start rollerblading. With all that said, these are the lessons I hope you take with you today. Learn from your mistakes and or failures, be kind to others, and be kind to yourself. 3 simple things to remember, but will surely make a difference. Thank you, and congratulations again to the class.
Dr. Zimmer, thank you for the commencement speech. Now it's time for the Academic Excellence Award. The American historian and former president of Cornell University, Charles Kendall Adams, once said, "No student ever attains eminent success by simply doing what is required of him. It is the amount and excellence of what is over and above the required that determines the greatness of ultimate distinction."
We recognize that every graduate here has value and self-worth that cannot be measured. We realize that every graduate here has persevered through every challenge that came their way, and they are all successful in their own way. Yet when it comes to recognizing outstanding performance of a single graduate, we do look for a way to distinguish our top academic performers. That distinction is grade point average, or GPA.
Every year, the college recognizes the graduate from each degree program who completed the program with the highest GPA. That recognition is known as the Academic Excellence Award. As a lasting tribute, each recipient will have his or her name engraved on a plaque on display for future students to see.
I get lost. Okay, the radiography program has some truly outstanding academic performers in this graduating class. In the end, there were 3 students who went into the last semester with a 3.9 GPA or higher. It wasn't determined until last week who would complete the program with the highest grade point average. So this year, I am pleased to announce that the 2025 Academic Excellence Award recipient from the radiography program is Christy Talbert.
The surgical technology program had some high-performing students academically. We had 2 students that were tied for the highest GPA going into last week. In the event of a tie, we look at their overall percentage to determine who will receive this award. I'm going to ask that Jalecia Bell and Alyssa Neuenschwander stand, please. I want to recognize both of you for your achievements and just your overall academic performance. This year, I am pleased to announce that the 2025 Academic Excellence Award can only go to 1. So the recipient for that is Alyssa Neuenschwander.
I am pleased to announce the 2025 Academic Excellence Award recipient for the Cardiac Sonography program is Amber Holderbaum, and the 2025 Academic Excellence Award recipient for the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program is Jenna Bellman. They each had the highest cumulative GPA in their program. Unfortunately, Amber is not able to join us tonight. Thank you, Jenna. I would also like to take a minute to recognize the sonography graduates that have already taken and passed 3 specialty sonography certifying exams in abdomen, obstetrics, and vascular. In sonography, all students are eligible to take their specialty certifying exams 60 days prior to graduation. For students to take and pass all 3 exams in less than 60 days is an accomplishment that needs to be recognized. Only about 22% of sonographers in Indiana and about 25% of sonographers nationwide hold credentials in all 3 specialties. It is even more rare that a sonographer would accomplish this prior to graduation. Congratulations to those of you that are triple credentialed as you are sitting here today. Prior to presenting the diplomas, I would like to introduce the clinical coordinators of each program. Brooke Goldstein is the Cardiac Sonography Concentration and Clinical Coordinator for the Cardiac Sonography program. Fawaz Tahir is the Clinical Coordinator for the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program and the Obstetric Concentration Coordinator. These programs would not be successful without each of them, and I can't thank them enough for their hard work and dedication that they've given to the programs. Tonight, we are graduating the 3rd cohort of the Cardiac Sonography program. Throughout the 19 months, the cardiac graduates have completed over 300 lecture hours, 270 scan lab hours, and almost 1,500 clinical hours. These 4 students completed the cardiac sonography program this past December and have all passed their adult echocardiography certifying exams. They have helped us build a strong foundation for the fully accredited cardiac sonography program, and we will forever be grateful for each of them. Unfortunately, due to the graduates completing the program in December and already having jobs in other states or northern Indiana, they were unable to travel back tonight for the commencement ceremony. We know that they are thriving in their current jobs, and we continue to wish them nothing but the best. The Diagnostic Medical Sonography program teaches the abdominal extended, obstetric, and vascular concentrations simultaneously, which allows the students to be well-rounded and highly marketable upon graduation. These students completed around 2,000 clinical hours, 400 scan lab hours, and about 500 classroom lecture hours. By becoming a program that was granted all accreditations possible, these students had high standards to uphold. As mentioned earlier, all 6 graduates here tonight are graduating having passed at least 2 specialty board exams. We are extremely proud of each of them, and we are looking forward to working alongside them, whether that be within Ascension or within our community. So DMS graduates, today we celebrate not just the end of a journey, but the beginning of an incredible calling. You have chosen a profession that combines science, skill, and heart. You have learned how to stare at a fuzzy black and white screen and confidently say, yes, that's a kidney. You've survived endless exams, clinical hours, and learned to identify organs that often look like oddly shaped blobs to the rest of the world. You've also gained the ability to not laugh when a patient says, "So, is it a boy or a girl?" when you're looking at a liver. You have mastered the art of seeing what others can't. With each scan, you will bring clarity in moments of uncertainty, reassurance in times of fear, and joy in times of hope. You are now part of a vital, often unseen force in healthcare. I encourage you to be the calm in the chaos, the eyes behind the diagnosis, and the professional who brings both precision and compassion to every scan. Never forget that behind every image is a person, a story, and a need to be seen and cared for. As you step into your careers, carry with you the pride of what you've accomplished and the promise of what you will become. Your work matters. Your work saves lives. As of tonight, your credentials have been released, and we can't wait to see how you each succeed with your next adventure. Now will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science degree in Diagnostic Medical Sonography please come forward.
Elizabeth Marie Anderson. Jenna Pauline Bellman. Brianna Lynn Gowinda. Sarah Catherine Miller. Carly Alexis Rumpel. Hannah Grace Smith.
So before we award the diplomas to the radiography graduates, I want to recognize who I consider the real talent behind the program, our clinical coordinators. These are the ones who teach, they evaluate, they guide the students day in and day out in the classroom and in the clinical setting. So they are, I think, the true foundation of our program, and I want to sincerely thank Summer Cox, Sarah Malloy, and Kirsty Humberg. My sincere thank you. Now, to the radiography program graduates, do you remember August 7th, 2023? Do you remember that day? Life as you know it, right? That was day one in the program. And I'm sure when you were in that room, you were nervous, excited, but nervous, anxious, looking around, sizing everyone else up, right? I know how it goes, okay? You didn't know at the time how difficult the program was going to be. You didn't know how challenging and labor-intensive, how much effort and dedication it was going to require to get to this point tonight, but you are here tonight. You didn't know at the time that you were going to complete 1,817 clinical hours. You didn't know that you were going to learn 188 patient positions. You didn't know that you were going to complete 52 clinical competencies on actual patients, real conditions. You didn't know that you were going to take 98 written exams, covering 1,206 learning objectives. Yes, I counted them. Okay. But not everyone in your class made it, but you did. You rose to the challenge, you met every expectation, you overcame every obstacle, and I am so proud of you. So I want to leave you, before we award the diplomas, I want to leave you with some advice. And again, I want to go back to our Ascension St. Vincent core values. And the first core value that I want to use to kind of frame my advice is wisdom. We define that as integrating excellence and stewardship. So my advice to you, strive to be outstanding. Don't stop learning, don't stop improving, and be your own greatest critic. Number 2, integrity. We define as inspiring trust through personal leadership. So my advice, be of high moral character, own your mistakes, and follow the words of Thomas Jefferson when he said, whenever you do a thing, act as if the whole world is watching. And then the third core value that I want to frame my advice is reverence. Respect for the compassion and dignity and diversity of life. So my advice, don't forget that life is a profound gift, and we are all called to service to protect that precious gift. So treat every patient as if he or she was your most cherished loved one. So I hope all of you find professional success and personal happiness wherever your paths lead. Now, will the candidates for the Associate of Applied Science degree in Radiography please come forward to receive your diplomas?
Devon Stephen Perdue. Kylie Danielle Skorts. Christy Dawn Talbert. Abigail Leanne Cook. Grace Isabella Donald. Elena Jean Kenworthy. Natalie Andrea McNally. Taylor Renee Desch. Caleb Matthew Rowland. Addison Grace Saul.
I would first like to introduce our amazing coordinators, Sunny Bestman and Rick Morse. The success of this program relies on their experience and expertise, and I can't thank them enough for their hard work and dedication that they have poured into this program and ultimately into the students. So thank you. Whew. To our graduates, your families and loved ones, all of our faculty, clinical partners, honored guests, thank you. Thank you for joining us on this incredible day of celebration and achievement for these graduates. Today is more than a ceremony. It's the culmination of a remarkable journey. A journey marked by countless hours in the classroom, early mornings scrubbing in, late nights poring over anatomy, instrumentation, and surgical technique. It's a testament to the many moments when you chose perseverance over doubt, focus over fatigue. As a class, you collectively completed over 2,000 surgical procedures, each one a step toward mastery, every one a testament to your growth. As surgical technologists, you've been trained to operate with some of the most precise and pressure-filled environments in healthcare. You've learned to read a room like a cardiac monitor, sensitive to every rhythm and rhythm change. You've mastered the art of anticipation, passing instruments with the timing of a well-rehearsed suture handoff. And you've learned to protect the sterile field with the same vigilance a surgeon applies to every critical step, because even a single lapse can compromise the entire procedure. There's a quote by Dr. Michael DeBakey, a pioneering cardiovascular surgeon, who once said, "Real success is finding your life work in the work that you love." Many people go their whole life searching for meaningful work. You've chosen a path that is not only technically demanding, but also profoundly impactful. You are stepping into a role that contributes directly to the preservation and restoration of life. It's not just work, it's a calling. You've done more than complete a program. You've earned your place in the sacred space of the operating room. I can't look at you guys. You've become professionals who will stand beside their patients at the most vulnerable, prepped, draped, and entrusted to the team behind the masks. Surgical technology is not for the faint of heart. It's for the calm during a crash C-section, the focused hand during aneurysm clipping, the unwavering presence during a long spine fusion. It's for those that understand every move must be intentional, like a scalpel to skin, that a moment of distraction can be as costly as a misplaced clamp on a vital vessel. And yet, you still choose to show up, day after day, case after case. Let surgery continue to be your teacher. Let precision guide you, but stay adaptable. Move with purpose, but never at the expense of care. And above all, remain a student. No matter how experienced you become, because even the most seasoned hands learn that a case can go not as planned. In the OR, there is no applause, no spotlight, but let me tell you, without a skilled surgical technologist, the show does not go on. And so today we celebrate you, your determination, your discipline, your transformation. As you move forward in your careers, let Dr. DeBakey's words echo in your minds and hearts. Find your life work in the work that you love. Let your passion lead your hands, and let your care of your patients guide your decisions. May your hands be steady, your mind sharp, and your futures bright. Now, will the candidates of the Associate of Applied Science and Surgical Technology please come forward to receive your diplomas?
Jalecia S. Bell. Gabriela de Los Santos. Holly Galford. Grace Caroline Langlois. Trish McPhilly. Alyssa Brooke Neuenswander. Allie Ray Pemberton. Jamie Melina Podis. Rebecca Sheets. John Dale Sneven V. Lexus Danae Tanner. Brittany Nicole Whitworth.
As a commitment to providing competent and empathetic care for our patients in their chosen field, the graduates will recite the Pledge for Healthcare Professionals. To lead the graduates in reciting the pledge is Lexus Tanner, a surgical technology program graduate. Graduates, please stand while Lexus comes forward to join us on stage.
Graduates, please join me in reading the graduate pledge together. From this day forward, may my words, actions, and deeds bring honor to my discipline. I vow to always conduct myself in a manner consistent with expectations of the profession I have chosen. I will treat my patients, coworkers, and physicians with respect. I pledge to uphold the highest standards of professional and personal integrity, and through my words and actions, encourage others to do the same. I promise to honor the patients I will serve in my profession by striving for the highest level of competence in my discipline. From this day forward, I am professional.
Graduates, please remain standing as Dr. Rothenberg comes forward to confer your degrees.
Okay, this is a nice formality. Again, congratulations, you guys. Has it been fun tonight? Great. Okay, you're already rising. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Ascension St. Vincent College of Health Professions, and by the authority vested in me as president of the Ascension St. Vincent College of Health Professions, and by the state of Indiana, I confer upon each of you the Associate of Applied Science degree for your respective program, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations.
Dr. Rothenberg just said, I get to do the fun part. It's time for that time-honored tradition of turning the tassels. The use of the tassel adorning the graduation cap started about 50 years ago when it was first just a decorative symbol. But today it's become more than just decoration. It is traditionally worn on the right side of the cap, and then as the graduate, when they graduate, it is moved to the left side of the cap to symbolize moving from student to graduate. So graduates, you may now move your tassels to the left side of your cap. Congratulations, you may be seated. So, our closing benediction will be given by Chaplain Julie Miller. Julie has been a chaplain at Ascension St. Vincent for over 25 years. She is the chaplain on the Adult Oncology Unit, serves as the Adult Palliative Care Team Chaplain. Julie earned her Master's of Divinity from Christian Theological Seminary in Indianapolis. She was ordained with the Christian Church since 1998 and became board certified as a chaplain with the Association of Professional Chaplains in 2005. Following Chaplain Judy's benediction, the graduates will lead the faculty and dignitaries out of the gym. Family, friends, and guests, we invite you to join us in the adjacent gym for refreshments. Chaplain Julie Miller.
If you thought the tassel was fun, I get to pray you out of here. I invite you to join me in prayer. Oh, gracious God, bless us with your joy as we close this beautiful commencement service and the celebration of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Thank you for each of these graduates here and for those who are already working, and we thank you for the Ascension St. Vincent College of Health Professions. God bless this graduate class of 2025 as they move into the professions for which they have trained. God bless them as they answer your call to bring health, healing, and hope to all. Bless them with confidence as they bring a compassionate and caring spirit into their work. Bless them with the knowledge of the importance of their work in diagnostics, surgery, and treatment. May they never forget that simple gestures of kindness and words of understanding can settle fear in patients and families during difficult times. And may they hold fast to the values they have learned in their training in the classroom and the clinic as they continue to grow into their professional lives. And now may God, who is with us in all times and all places, shine your light upon this class of 2025, that they will know your peace, that they will walk in your grace, that they will offer compassion to their patients, and that they will share in your goodness throughout their lives. May it be so. Amen.